Good morning. Hello, hello, and welcome to your stretch. Sorry, it was the little random voice on the side of the camera before. Who have we got with us? Hello, Helen. Hello, Jane Graham. You're right. Good to see you. Sound and vision all good, brilliant. Thank you for that little check. It is always reassuring. So it's good to have you along with me for our Monday morning stretch. We're going to keep it pretty simple, starting in standing, going down onto the mat and then back up like we always do, but moving through some of our kind of basic movements, getting everything loosened off, stretched off, and as always, you just move within whatever range of movement is most comfortable for you. If you feel unwell, make sure you stop. If any of the movements are uncomfortable, then either modify or just miss that little bit out. We are getting up and down off the floor, so a little bit of furniture to hand to help you get up and down if you know that you need that. And if you are on your own, then having a telephone or another method of communication nearby will be really useful. You don't need any special equipment, just your mat and some space to move your arms and limbs in all directions. And I think that is everything we need, and we can get ourselves started. So nice strong stance for me to begin with. Standing up as tall as you can, lifting the ribs up off the pelvis. And at the moment, the weight of the arms should just be pulling your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to begin with a little bit of spine curl, so we're kind of a round and an open, but we'll add our arms into that as well. So if you bring the backs of your hands together in front of you and look down towards the floor, and then you're going to open the arms out, turn the thumbs to the back of the room and raise your eye line a little bit. Come forward, do that again, round the back, open out and open the front of the chest. Come forward. As you come forward, take a big breath in, see if you can breathe into the back of the ribs. And as you breathe out, squeeze your shoulder blades together. So inhale, come forwards. Exhale, open. Do two more. Last one. Brilliant, well done. And then just relax that posture a little bit. We're going to lean over to your side now. So side bend as far as you can one way, come up to the middle, and side bend as far as you can the other way. Come up to the middle, good. Keep going side to side. And we'll do one more each way. Fantastic, and then back up to center again. To the shoulders now, if you can shoulder roll up, round and back. Good, four more. And again. Fantastic, and then we're reaching down towards the toes with your standing roll down. So chin to chest, head and arms floppy, lengthen and reach to the floor, and then come back up. Now, it doesn't matter how far down you go with this one, just go to whatever range you feel comfortable with. We breathe in at the top and breathe out as you roll forwards, letting the head and arms go floppy, lifting the tailbone up to the ceiling, and then uncurl, come back up. Good, we'll do one more like that. And all the way back up. Fabulous, well done. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake out. Same with the arms, give those a little bit of a jiggle. And then we're going to make our way down onto the mat. We're going to be onto our hands and knees, please. So if you can come to that 4-point position, where you've got your knees just a little bit wider than hip width apart, and the hands sitting somewhere just underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes underneath. And then we're going to go into a cat stretch. So curve and round and release out the other way. So very much like we were doing in standing, but you might be able to just push into a few different ranges with this one. We'll keep our breathing to the same pattern. So you're going to inhale when you round the back. Think of breathing into the back of the ribs. And then you breathe out when you release and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Breathe in, curling round. And breathe out other way. We're going to do one more. Marvelous. And then you're going to drop your bottom down to your heels and reach your arms out in front of you. Feel as if you're trying to push your hands into the floor so that you're pushing your tailbone down towards your heels. Now, once you're in that position, take a little rock, a little sort of side to side movement, and you'll find that'll bias one way or another. And if you've got one side that feels a little bit tighter, then you can just hang around in that side there. Good stuff, well done. And then you're going to unroll yourself from that position, coming around onto your back. So you're going into a rest position, knees and feet together, arms out to the side. You know what's coming when I say that, don't you? Knees and feet together, arms out to the side. That means our hip twist, both knees one way, head the opposite way to the movement, as far as you comfortably can. And then we'll come up and over to the other side. Knees one way, head the other. Keep swapping from side to side. So it's a breath in as you come kind of over the top and out as you go over. In when you come into the middle, out as you go over. One more to each side. Marvelous stuff. Bring the knees into center. I want you to pick one knee up, squeeze that in towards your chest, and then you're going to slide the other leg out straight along the floor. Pull the toes up towards you on that straight leg. Now this knee that you've got pulled in towards you, can you pull it over, and you're going to roll slightly with it so that you're trying to pull your knee in the direction of the opposite shoulder. So we're coming up and across, and you hopefully will feel a greater stretch around the outside part of your hip and thigh on that leg that you've got squeezed in. Okay, and then we'll come and bring both knees in towards the chest, give them a little squeeze, rock from side to side, like you're trying to squish your lower back in towards the floor. And then we're going to keep a hold of the other knee now and slide that other leg out long. Flex the foot so you're pushing into the heel. And then this knee that we've got pulled up and in is coming across, going in the direction of your opposite shoulder. Feeling that stretch along the outside part of the hip and thigh. Good. Back into the middle and then both knees into the chest again. And you're going to circle the knees round. First of all, going in one direction. So pay attention to whether you've ended up going clockwise or anti-clockwise with those circles, because I'm going to ask you to go in the opposite direction now. Like you're stirring a pot. Couple more circles. Lovely job. Okay, now we're going to pop one foot down. That can just stay with the bent knee, flat foot resting onto the floor. This other leg, hold the back of the thigh, and you're going to straighten that knee up so you've got the heel going up towards the ceiling. We then circle round at the ankle. And again, pay attention to the direction of your circle, because in a moment, I'm going to ask you to circle round the other way. Lovely. Now hold it there with the toes pulled up towards you. See if you can straighten your knee out a little bit more. Press the heel up to the ceiling. Tuck your shoulder blades in behind you and feel that strong pull all the way at the back of the leg. Maybe, keeping the knee straight, you can pull that leg a little bit closer up and in towards you. Increase that stretch. Brilliant. Then you're going to bend that knee, pop the foot down on towards the floor, and we'll do the same on the other side. So we're picking up, holding the back of the thigh, and then we're going to circle around at the ankle. 3, 4, And it's 5 one way, then we'll change the direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hold it there with the toes pulled up towards you. Push the heel up to the ceiling. Try and straighten your knee as much as you can. Once you've got it there, just see if maybe there's a little bit more movement in it. Keeping that knee straight, straight, straight. Push up to the heel. Brilliant. Well done. And then bend the knees. Pop both feet down on towards the floor. Just make sure you've got enough room for your arms to be able to go overhead. And we're going to do just that with some arm scissors. So one goes back. Didn't make sure I had enough room, did I? So let me try that again. One goes back, one is down. And then you're going to swap over. So we're just scissoring those arms overhead. Now it might be that this feels pretty easy and that you've got good range of movement in your shoulders. If you have, then just enjoy that good range of movement and take them through their full available range. If you do find that this is a little bit tight, what I would like you to really focus on is keeping the spine connected in towards the floor. So one way that you can kind of cheat a little bit, I know it wouldn't be intentional, but your body can cheat getting this arm overhead by flaring or lifting your rib cage. So if you keep the ribs heavy, even if that means the arm doesn't go as far, you're going to get a better quality stretch with it. We'll just do one more for either arm. And then you're going to come into a cactus position. So like a comedy cactus, I want your elbows up at shoulder height, elbows bent to about 90 degrees, and ideally the backs of your hands resting on towards the floor. So sometimes if you're a little bit tight across the front of the chest, across the front of the shoulder, you might find that your hands want to stay lifted up a little bit. And that's okay, but the idea is to think of getting the hands down towards the floor or somewhere in that general direction. So that's the position you want here. We're then going to squeeze the hands and elbows together in front of you. So keep the elbows up high. Your nose and your elbows should be pretty much level. So you want the elbows up nice and high, and then you open out, going wide again. Squeeze in and push open. Inhale, come in. Exhale, go open. 2 more of these. Inhale, come in. Exhale, go open. Last one. Good. Now hold those arms out to the side. If they don't comfortably rest on the floor, then just adjust your position until you can find a point where they do comfortably rest. We'll then go knees and feet together again, and we'll go hip twist once more, keeping your elbows and your shoulder blades down on the floor this time. So it just changes up the stretch a little bit. And we'll go one more to each side. Marvellous. Well done. Okay, over onto your side now. Doesn't matter which one, because we will end up doing both, but onto your side and just resting your head comfortably, whether that's on an outstretched arm or just propping up on your hand, whatever feels best for you. We're then going to bring the knee up towards the chest and grab a hold of your shin or your ankle, the back of your sock, anything that you can comfortably get a hold onto. You're going to try and squeeze the heel in towards your bottom and keep it like that as you then take the knee back. So we're trying to open out the front of your thigh here. Squeeze your bum cheeks together and push your hips forwards. That's going to increase the stretch a little bit. And we hold there. Play around with the angle a little bit, perhaps taking the knee up, maybe a little bit more down towards the floor, and just see where you get the greatest stretch from it all. Good. Lovely. And then we're going to ease off on that side. Onto your tummy next. And take a little bit of an arch through the back. So for this first version, I want you to keep your elbows down on the floor. Push your hips in towards the mat. Again, squeezing the bottom cheeks together there. Lift up the eye line and push your elbows into the floor. Good. So when we come back and do this again, I'll give the option to extend that stretch a little bit if you want to. But for now, just go here, get those shoulder blades together. Brilliant. Onto the other side now, please. So getting yourself comfy, either resting your head up onto your hand or into your forearm. Bottom knee is bent just to help you balance a little bit. Top knee, you're going to grab a hold of your shin, your sock, the back of your trouser leg, whatever's comfy, and squeeze the heel in towards your bottom. Take that leg as far back as you can. Squeeze the bottom cheeks together, push the hips forward, and pull that heel in towards your bottom. Play around with the angle of it a little bit. Lift the knee, drop the knee, maybe opening it out a tad. Just see where you get the most benefit from that stretch. Keeping the hips pushed forward. Lovely. And then onto our tummy again. So if you were happy in this forearm support for your stretch, then you stay there. If you want to extend the stretch, I need you to keep the pubic bone pushed down in towards the floor, but then you can straighten the elbows somewhat so that you're taking a bigger stretch up through the spine. Drop your shoulders down, lift up through the crown of the head. Good. And then release. We're going to go into another child's pose like we did before. Bottom to heels, reach the arms out in front. Stretch, 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 stretch. And then next we're going to come up into standing. So you can either just make your way up into standing any way that you feel most comfortable, or we can try and do that through a downward dog position. So downward dog, we need our hands splayed so that we've got a nice firm contact in towards the floor. We're going to have the toes tucked underneath, the hips are starting just above the knees, and then we're going to lift the knees off the floor, going into a little triangle position into your downward dog there. Now don't worry if your knees are a little bit bent. Try and push the hands into the floor. So you're pushing your tailbone backwards, and then you're going to walk your hands towards your feet. Having a little bit of a bend in the knees is absolutely fine. Once you've got your weight over your feet, you're going to unfold out of that position, coming all the way up into a nice strong stand, and then you can readjust your top or your leggings, which always feels like it's needed after that. So whichever way you made it up into standing, good stuff, as long as you are now upright and comfortable. We're going to finish off with a little bit of stretching for the neck. We're adding some overpressure into the stretch, but you just go with what feels most comfortable for you. Nice strong stance, arms down by your side and chest open. You're bringing your ear over towards your shoulder. Now with that hand on the same side, you can, if you want to, just pull a little bit further along. So we call that overpressure. Only go in a range that feels comfortable. If you prefer not to do it, then you don't have to. Let's come back up into the middle, release that arm, and then we'll go to the other side. So ear over to the shoulder. Just get to the end of your range there. If you feel like you've got a little bit more to come, then you can use your hand with that overpressure. Feeling a long stretch along the side of the neck. And coming back up to center. Good stuff. Nearly there now. Link the fingers together. Press the palms forward. Straighten your elbows out as much as you can. And then you're going to take both arms overhead. Hands have disappeared off the top of the screen, but just imagine they're still there. And then you're going to lean over. Side bend one way. Come back up into center. Leaning over, side bend the other way. Good, come back up into center. Release those hands at the top. Spread the fingers out wide. Circle the arms all the way down. Give your arms a little shake. Give yourself a little bit of a jiggle. And that is it. We have completed our stretch and mobility routine. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are on the live series, then we're not going to be here next week because we've got the bank holiday. So we're skipping next week, and then we'll be back the Monday after for another live class. But you've got the back catalogue. If you want to keep your Monday routine, you can do one of the catch-up sessions. Alrighty, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.